Hi, welcome back to another tutorial. In this video, we are going to explore more on pattern in general, and we are going to work with this figure on my screen right now. If you like to work along with me, probably you can just pause the video and how this figure drawn by just arbitrary measurement. And the most important thing is to have this circular cut on the final figure. So here we are going to start with linear pattern. If you select linear pattern, you can have a partial preview on so that you can see what is happening on screen. So first you want to select features to pattern, and in this case I'm going to select cut extrude 1. Then I can go back to direction 1 and I can select that line there, and here I can reduce the instances to pattern to, let's say, to 11, and the distance I can increase that to, let's say, 11 also, and see how 11 looks okay. Then again we can now move to direction 2. Direction 2, I can select this one here, but you do realize that once I select direction 2, it just pattern everything which was patterned under direction 1. So that's why we have this box here. You can decide whether to pattern the seed only or pattern everything. So if you check the box for pattern seed only, that will pattern the original sketch which we had initially. But if the box is unchecked, then everything on direction 1 will be patterned on the other side. Then next we do have instances to skip. You can see I'll have holes floating around here, so I can decide to skip these instances like this just by clicking. If you want them back, you can just click the circles again on those particular areas, then they will come back again. So the main thing I wanted to explain here is probably this pattern seed only, or you can just decide to pattern everything else. So I can go ahead and select that, and you can see how those holes have come out to be nicely patterned around this shape here. The next bit I want to delete this so that I can explain the next bit here. Even the sketch I can do away with. So the next thing here, I want to do a circular pattern. Let's say I have extrude cut on this surface here. Let's have a circular shape at any. Let's start from that center there, but it's not picking the center. And let's say that hole is up to the other side. Exit sketch. Now we can have it like that. So under circular pattern 2, you can go to linear pattern. Then under linear pattern we have circular pattern, and this one we do have direction 1, which is by default is going to clockwise direction. If you want it to go to anti-clockwise, you just be selecting it on that box there. So instances to pattern, you can come down here to the features. Then under features, I want to pattern extrude 2, and you have the partial preview is on. Then we come to direction 1. Direction 1, not necessarily a direction, but we want this one to be the center of patterning. So we have selected that axis there. So after entering this axis, we can have this one equally checked. Then we have 360 degrees there. But now then in number of instances, you can increase them like that. So here it's not a must that you must have 360 degrees. You can even decide to have 180, for example, 180. So if you have 180, then the 8 instances will be on those 180 instances of angle. So that is how that one works. Also here we do have instances to skip. You can decide to skip these other ones. Then let's say we select 360. It looks nice with 360 degree angle like that. So that is one thing that I thought you should know before moving to the next pattern. The next pattern we would like to cover is curve driven pattern. Curve driven pattern, now we will do it with this shape here. And now what we want to do is a curve driven pattern. And this is a shape whereby this if you use these two first type of pattern, they will not be able to achieve a curve driven pattern. But let's talk about this shape here. I have Cortex to suppress. I can go ahead and suppress it, and it's just a square shape here. But first I want to do the circular one, so I'll go ahead and suppress it again. So if you go to curve driven pattern, here now I have to first select the features to pattern, and I can go ahead and select cut extrude 1, and under direction 1 I can now come to, instead of selecting the direction X and Y, I'll come and select the sketch. This one can also be a curve on how the curve which you can draw and show how you want your pattern to appear. For these purposes of this tutorial, we'll use the curve sketch. And now we have instances here is currently set to 2. We can go ahead and increase that up to 10. Then also we have a distance here set to 20, and we can as well have this equal spacing checked. And now we'll have our pattern as shown on the preview. But you notice some of the holes are outside of the shape there. That is because the curve method is set to transform curve. Go ahead and check offset curve, and that will ensure everything is inside and nice looking. Go ahead and confirm that. So everything looks okay. This is what you can achieve with curve driven pattern. I'll go back and undo this, and now this time around I'll unsuppress this one, but suppress the circular one. I want to explain something on this square issue. This time round, now we go to curve driven pattern, and select first the features you want to pattern. Then the features you want to pattern is now cut extrude 2. And for now we have to select the direction, and where we find the direction is the type of curve or the sketch we had initially. And you can see it's appearing nicely because that one we have already offset curve is already checked. But if you check the alignment method is currently set to align to seed. But if you want this one tangent to the curve, you can see how it will appear. Let's do that. You can see if it's aligned to tangent, it means that every shape or every pattern will be aligned or will be tangent to the outside curve or the tangent to the sketch. But if you want it to be same as the seed or same as the original, you just come and edit the pattern, and the alignment method you can change it to align to seed. Seed is now like the first sketch we drew, the initial sketch which is now being patterned here. So that's what I wanted to explain. Next, I want to explain on a sketch driven pattern. But before that, we need to have a sketch as the name suggests. So I'll go ahead and go to sketch environment, select start sketch. Then here I'll do sketch on this plane. For this purpose, we're going to select a point, and we will populate it on this face like this. So this is going to be our sketch in that regard. Just populate it anyhow, but if you are working in an industrial setup, probably you need to provide some dimensioning to these points. So once that is done, go ahead and exit sketch. After that, now you go back to features tab, then under linear pattern, select sketch driven pattern, and you can see the sketch are automatically selected. Now you can go to features to pattern. Under features to pattern, we can select extrude 1 like that, and you can see the preview is showing. You might sometimes you might do that, but you won't see the preview. That is if this selected point is selected, because a circle doesn't really have a point on this circular path. So if the box or the radio box or selected point is checked, then you won't see a preview, and sometimes it might not work. But if centroid is selected, then you will automatically see the preview there. And for the purposes of selected point is the reason why I have the second shape here. Let's go ahead and talk about that. I can undo that. So select again sketch driven pattern, and then we can select that sketch 5. So under features to pattern, come and select extrude 2, and since if I have this selected point active, then I can go and let's say I have that point like that, then it will pattern based on that point. I can as well clear the selection, then have this point selected. You can see the difference how that one works. Or you can as well go ahead and have centroid selected. That means it will pattern based on the center. These points you created will be on the centers. So that's how that sketch driven pattern works. Next, we want to do the fill pattern. Mostly this fill pattern is used to when you want to ventilate a part, or you want to possibly reduce the material usage on a part, also, and also to make it lighter. I'll use the simple shape like this one just to illustrate how the fill pattern works. First, as you can see from the graphic here, it needs a boundary. So I'll first create a sketch on this face, and I'll take circular a circular shape. uh, Circular shape like that. That's okay. Once you have a circular shape, go ahead and exit sketch. From now here, now we can go back to features tab and select fill pattern, and you can see the sketch is selected automatically. But if that's not the case on your side, you can just expand the design tree, then you can see the sketch and you select it. So once you select the sketch, then you can come down here to features to pattern. But since we don't have any features for now, you can just create a seed cut. Creating a seed cut, you'll have if after checking the radio button for that seed cut, you can see you have a couple of options here. You have option of circle, square, diamond, and polygon. So let's go ahead and have a polygon of let's say 6-sided, and also we can have outer radius of 4 millimeters. Then we can also have inner radius of that length. Then these ones are now okay. Then probably by now we should be having a preview, but since we haven't checked this box here, pattern direction, go ahead and populate that box, and you can see a preview here on how that circular pattern is going to work. There are a couple of things here. Pattern layout, you can decide to have perforations. You can also have circular layout. We also have square layout, and we have polygon. If you select polygon, you can see that's how it will look like. Also, but you can have square. Then let's have circular layout like that. We also have a couple of options here on the window. This one is saying showing the instance spacing. If you increase that, let's say to 12 or 15, you can see the spaces between those patterns have been increased. We also have margins. So we have, if margin is 0, maybe you expected this pattern to be at this point, but that is not the case, because we can, let's say it is at -10. -20 is now outside, so -10 is now exactly at the margin there. We also have instance per loop. That one won't work well. So a couple of options here, you can just see and try them out and see how it will turn out. So that's how the fill pattern work, and mostly it is being used to maybe to add more ventilation on a part, or also to make the part more lighter. You can see how now it will look like that. Sounds okay. And now to finalize on this tutorial, we are going to tackle on we're going to talk about the rib feature. Please do remember to subscribe to this channel, and so that I help you to help me. So that here now we are going to do this rib command, and if you love to work along with me, please you can go ahead and just draw this shape here with these two circular extruded boss base. So here we first going to apply the rib between these two circular structures. Go ahead and select the rib command, and it's asking us to select a phase or an existing feature to work on. I'll go ahead and select that face there. Then it will take me to the sketching environment. Here I'll pick a line command and just draw a line between these two circular faces. Then I'll exit the sketch. Once I exit the sketch, you can see I have a preview, but the preview here is not showing what I was expecting, because you can see the arrow is pointing outwards instead of arrow pointing downwards. So there, just come and check this box here, so that the extrusion direction should be now be normal to sketch. Currently it is parallel to sketch. Come and change it to normal to sketch, like that. And now you can see the arrow is pointing downwards, and you can see it's also extruding in both sides. It is because both sides is selected. If you select one side, you can see it is shifting to one side, but I'll go ahead and work with both sides. If the thickness is 10, meaning either side will be 5. Also, we do have this feature here called draft. If I activate draft, then I can change the angle there, so that it draft outwards, and let's see the result, how that one will be applied. You can see how that one works, and that is a rib command. So also you might also like to add a rib command in between these two faces. That one is since now we need to have a sketch first on a rib command, you'll need to offset a plane here. Just come to reference geometry, select a plane. Then first reference, we want to have this side here, and now the second reference is we want this side here, and this will give us a third plane, which is the mid plane between these two initial planes. Go ahead and click OK. So now we want to apply our rib command on this plane. Go ahead and select rib command. Since now we are in a sketching environment, just select the line command. Then we can have a line running through up to somewhere here, like that. Then you can go ahead and exit sketch. Once you exit sketch, you will see a preview here showing you the way the rib will be applied to this body. Also, you can, if you like, you can go ahead and change the thickness. The direction is okay. Also, if you like, you can as well change you can also turn on the draft on and off. In case the arrow was pointing outwards, you can go and check this flip material side. So here everything looks so good, and I can go ahead and check that. Also, I can come here and hide the plane. And that's how the rib command works, and you can apply it in your sketches and the design. So that's bring us to the end of this lesson or features. Please do remember to subscribe. Our next lesson will be looking at part environment before we move to assembly and drawing. Thank you very much, and let's catch up in the next lesson. See you.